Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Tuesday, and that means it's Transformation Tuesday. And this is Tyra Jarvis, and I come to you live on Facebook with Transformation Tuesday. And we talk about mindset, motivation, transformation. And at this early stage of the year, we've been doing some talk about intention and how goals line up for that, and how you can actually make 2021 be your best year yet, and what might you do differently this year to kind of resurrect yourself or reinvent yourself from the experiences of 2020. And so with that, we're going to dive in here. I've been doing a lot of, exploration myself and been listening. I had a heightened listening for people that are also talking about these topics and looking for things to kind of crack the code, if you will, for me, around how to go about a way of life that enhances everything that I want to be about in the world. And so last week, I sat in on a friend of mine, Christine Vartanian. She does a weekly Facebook Live called Waist Up Wardrobe. And what I love about what Christine did last year is she's a personal stylist, and I've worked with her in the past, and she's fabulous about how to take your personal brand and be consistent with your styling, and how she pivoted in 2020 was this whole notion of dressing up for Zoom, and the fact that we were going to be on Zoom and on video, and this pressure around video. And it's interesting. I'm also listening to Amy Porterfield right now, and she's doing a podcast on talking body, and how whatever your image and your identity is tied to your physical presence, it was amplified with the pressure to be on camera. And for her, it was when she was doing more video. For us, it's everybody that's on Zoom. And how do you represent yourself on camera, and how do you do that? Anyway, what I just wanted you to know is that the Waist Up Wardrobe is Thursdays, every Thursday on the Facebook group, Waist Up Wardrobe. Just fun. I mean, I love her image. She's dressed to the nines from the waist up for this video. But then if you look at her image underneath her desk, she's in her pajama bottoms and her bunny slippers. And that's the reality of our wardrobe right now. We dress very, very comfortably. I have yoga pants on with this sweater, and I took time to do my makeup, and I didn't have as much time to do my hair today. But I spent some time, looking above the waist, but, below the waist, I'm still in my slippers. I'm wondering if I'm ever going to fit in a pair of shoes again. And I wear my yoga pants pretty much every day, everywhere I go, or, some loose, some black slacks. So it really, what that has done for me is it's caused me to really look at the essentials of my wardrobe, and do I really need a lot of, really stylish, trendy clothes, I mean, if it really gets you down to the essence of it. But anyway, back to Christine's Waist Up Wardrobe last week. She had a sales coach on there, and he ended with a story that I'm going to start with, because I felt this story really drove home the fact that the only non-renewable resource for us is time. We can look for new ideas if we don't know what to do. We can ask for help if we don't know what to do. So fear of not knowing what to do, there's ways you can get past that. And you can also make more money, take a second job. You can do more in your job to bring in more money. So money is something that you can actually have control over. But the reality is, and you've heard me say this before, time is finite. There's only 168 hours in a week. And whatever algorithm you want to use, and this story uses seconds, you get the fragility of time, and how if you don't use it to the way you intend, it can be wasted. And so I'm going to start with this story. This appeared in the coachingtoolbox.net. It's called 86,400 seconds. All right. So just bear with me for a little bit as I use this story to make a big point about time today. All right. Imagine there is a bank account that credits your account every morning with 86,400 seconds. Or excuse me, $86,400. Let's just say that. I'm sorry. It carries over no balance from day to day. Every evening, the bank deletes whatever part of that balance you fail to use during the day. What would you do? Draw out every cent? Of course you would, right? Each of us has such a bank. Its name is time. Every morning, it credits you with 86,400 seconds. Every night, it writes off as a loss whatever of this you have failed to invest to a good purpose. It carries over no balance. It allows no overdraft. Each day, it opens a new account for you. Each night, it burns the remains of the day. If you fail to use the day's deposits, the loss is yours. There is no drawing against tomorrow. You must live in the present on today's deposits. Invest it as to get from it the utmost in health. The clock is running. Make the most of today. To realize the value of 1 year, ask a student who failed a grade. To realize the value of 1 month, ask a mother who has given birth to a premature baby. To realize the value of 1 week, ask the editor of a weekly newspaper. To realize the value of 1 hour, ask the lovers who are waiting to meet. To realize the value of 1 minute, ask a person who just missed a train. To realize the value of 1 second, ask someone who just avoided an accident. To realize the value of 1 millisecond, ask the person who won a silver medal at the Olympics. Treasure every moment that you have, and treasure it more because you shared it with someone special enough to spend your time with. And remember, time waits for no one. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. When he read that, and I heard it for the first time, and I'd heard versions of this, time broken down into seconds and milliseconds, I was so struck by these examples that I really wanted to share it with my audience, my community today. Because one of the things that's going to make a difference is how you spend your time, and time translates into how you use your energy. And we've talked a little bit about tricks and tips and things that you can do that, but this gives the sole purpose around the value of time. And, I've been a goal-oriented person. Set the goal, make it measurable, set time to it, go out there and, beat yourself up until you get it. But what I've discovered now recently is that it's really about life intentions. Like there's an umbrella that you sit under for your life's intentions. And some of the life's intentions might be, and mine are, to live a life of optimal wellness. That means physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially. Optimal wellness is the intention that I strive for my life. So, and then to open my heart to new experiences, to be open to that, live a life of experiences. And it doesn't have to be some great big adventure like going to Kathmandu or scaling some big mountain, or for me, the Camino, or going to Ecuador to the Oshawa Eco Village. It could be an adventure of walking backwards or walking a different way or writing with your left hand, just to explore something different. And really to live a life with a space that has room to thrive. And so then you take those intentions and you attach some goals in it. So in the health space, it might be hydrating or sleeping or drinking or eating. And that's when you put some specific goals to it. In the money, it could be, spending less, saving more, removing any excess, donating more, being more philanthropic if that's a goal for you. And in the relationship space, it might be just spending time, not working, going and spending time with your granddaughters, or going and spending time golfing with friends, and not saying no to things because those time essence of being valued with the people that you really care about are going to be deleted or removed from your bank at the end of the day. So some of the intentions, which is again a way of being, it's that umbrella, if you will, of how you go about your life, is spending time with people I love, having enough money to live a life without financial stress, experiencing new and different people, places, and things, being calm and stress-free, and working on things that I enjoy with people that I like. And that could be in any environment. And so as I start to, really hone in on the intentions of my life and the goals that I want to put around that, you see what falls out of that is the habits and the new habits that you need to put in place. And yet if you can stay focused on the intention, you can stay focused on what that habit is going to be and look for ways to do it 3 days, 7 days, 21 days, 66 days to a new habit. So it really plays out in the day-to-day, and you want to have your time and your energy allocated towards those new habits that you're putting in place so you can create them. And it's all about sustaining your motivation and keeping your focus, especially when you can't see immediate returns on the results that you're trying to produce, and managing your disappointment so that you stay engaged and you don't give up. So when you look at protecting your time and energy, I hope that you remember this story and just get that we all have 168 hours in a week. We all have 86,400 seconds in a day. And what is it that you're going to do with those milliseconds, seconds, minutes, hours? What is it that you're going to do with that time? And make sure that it's lined up with your intentions and that you protect it and that you stand for yourself having that time go to where you want to most, which, is going to, I do some talking on honoring boundaries. And a lot of times it comes down to, competing demands for your time and your energy that come from the outside. But the reality is honoring boundaries with yourself and what you're going to do with the time that you have to make sure that you spend it on the things that you really want to spend it on. And it's finding the right way for you. I can give you, tips around what works for me, tips that I've picked up from thought leaders that I follow that work for them. But for it to really work enough that you make it habitual in your life, it has to be for you. And what I'm going to share in getting ready to close here is that Darren Hardy shared this morning on Darren Daily about meditation, and that he can't do it. He doesn't like it. It's boring. Everybody will say, I've even say meditate, journal. I really want you to get that it's do whatever works for you. And what I loved about this morning's Darren Daily is he actually shared what worked for him and how he was able to make a commitment to something consistently that worked for him, that gave him the benefits of the intention of meditation. So think of meditation as a tactic, a specific thing that you do, but the intention is to create some space around you, some quiet space around you, so that you can actually use that time to go within and think about what's important to you. And what he shared today is he made a commitment around watching sunsets. And what he loved about watching sunsets, and he lives in San Diego or Miami, so he can get a chance to do it, but it is something that any of us could do. And I was so moved by this because when I'm near the ocean, I love sunsets. But anyway, so he says, you know what time it is. It takes about 30 minutes for the sunset to complete. You get to see the sun exit, he says, over the skyline of Miami or whether it's in the Pacific in San Diego. But he dedicates that time and he spends 30 minutes just quietly, peacefully, just focusing on the sunset and just being present with nature. I just loved it. And he does do it when he's with his wife. They sit on the balcony and they do it together quietly. And then his commitment was to do it 50 times in a year, to watch 50 sunsets. And he said he ended up doing it like 85 times. And he made a habit out of it where he shared a photo of it with his wife. So he anchored it. It was anchoring it. But the intention is to be quiet, peaceful, in that essence of 30 minutes that it takes. And he was able to build it around something beautiful. So rather than, be the Julia Roberts image in that India ashram where she's sitting in that meditation room and she's trying to meditate and she can't sit still and she's looking at the clock and only 2 minutes have gone by. Find something in your day today that will allow you to be with you and to be at peace with you and to be quiet with you, and see, how connecting with that works for you. And if you like it, then make a commitment to try to do it for 3 days, and then 7 days, and then 14 days and 21 days, and just build on it. And just know that to get it to be a habit where it's something that you do consistently is going to require a little bit of a commitment. So treasure your time today. Protect your time and your energy and those 86,400 seconds. Remember the analogy or the metaphor, if you will, of the bank. And let's spend it all in the way that serves you best, based on your design, and really go out and enjoy your day. Jean, good to see you this morning. Hope everything's going well with you. And Denise, always a pleasure to see you as well. So thank you guys for joining me. Look forward to seeing you next week on Transformation Tuesday. This is Tyra Jarvis with Kefi Coaching, and I hope you have an incredible, amazing day. Take care. Bye-bye.